Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. Before I start this hopefully encouraging and probably a bit controversial video, don't worry, they're only my thoughts. Please take a moment to subscribe and like the video, and also very quickly click the link in the description, have a very quick read. This will help the channel reach a few more people and perhaps give them some help. Thank you. The subject I want to talk about, and it's not a long video this, but hopefully it'll give you a bit of insight, is relapse. The dreaded word relapse. Something unfortunately I'm all too familiar with. Since I've been making these videos over the last 5 years, it's happened to me twice, and I've documented it here on the channel, and you can have a look back at those videos. Some of my views have probably changed a little since then as well, which I'm going to share with you in a second. But like anybody, I was at those times filled with shame, with remorse, with anger, with guilt, with regret. I felt as though I'd let myself down. I felt as though I'd let people who loved and cared for me down, and people who were helping me, I'd let them down as well. All these feelings of fear as well were flooding through me. But we're all only human. None of us perfect. We all mess up, and sometimes life gets on top of us for whatever reasons. And if we're not fully prepared for that at the time, and it could be anything, it could be something extremely small, such as someone in your family getting on your nerves, a husband or a friend or a mother or relative of somebody. It could be a boss putting extreme pressure on you. It could be hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Those 4 favourites, any one of those taking effect. It could have been happening for weeks before it actually happens to you. Could be lots of reasons. It could be a massive event, life on life's terms, if you like. You know, could be, God forbid, a death in the family or a serious illness in the family. And that moment will come where your defences will be down, and it'll be the fuck it moment, I call it, where you'll reach for that drink. And I'll explain what to do about that in a second. But here's a couple of controversial thoughts for you. I was told many times, and I know it's still talked about a lot in recovery circles, this, whether it's in groups or in the rooms or wherever it is. A lot of people in recovery say that relapse is a necessary part of recovery. It is integral to recovery. In my experience, that is a very dangerous message to be spreading, and I'll explain why. Because I took that message in, you know, when I first came into recovery, I took that message in. The first time in 2006, I heard that. But if you're telling an addict, a serious addict or alcoholic, and giving them that message, you're going to weaken that chimp part of the brain. Because when any one of those things I talked about happen to you in your life, whenever you're uncomfortable or feeling low or whatever reason, the chimp part of your brain, the bit you can't control, that inner demon, the one that tells you, like I talked about in the last video, tells you to miss your workout session, you can do an extra one tomorrow, the one that tells you you're not worthy, the one that makes excuses for you, that doesn't want you to be uncomfortable, the one that tells you you're not, you know, that your self-esteem's crap and you're crap and everything is your life's crap, and that'll be nagging in your ear. If you've been given the message that relapse is a necessary part of recovery, it's going to be whispering that in your ear. It's going to be saying to you, well, if you take a drink or you take a drug, you're going to feel better. You're going to be instantly gratified. You're going to immediately feel better. It's all going to be better, and it's going to nag and nag and nag. And your brain is going to be telling you, it's going to be weaker fighting back, because it's going to tell you, this is a necessary part of it. You know, I'll just give in easily to this, and it's just part of the journey. I'll tell you the danger of that message and that happening. In my recovery, I have known many, and I mean many, Addicts and alcoholics who are being really good friends of mine. Some of them have had long periods of sobriety that have gone back out there. They've maybe heard this message and they've gone back out there and they've died. Some of them have died very quick deaths. Some of them have died very slow and painful deaths. Whichever it is, it's not pretty and it's tragic and it's painful for everybody concerned that cares and loves these people. For their friends, especially, this is addiction. I've said it time and time again. Serious addiction can be and usually is a matter of life and death. Doesn't matter what stage you're at the moment, whether it's in the early stages or not. It's a progressive situation, addiction. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And the longer you've been away from it and your defenses are down, the longer you've been in recovery, if you stop putting the work in, if you stop doing it in the day and making a decision not to drink every single day and armouring yourself, like I talked about in the last video, you stop going to meetings, you stop connecting, you stop talking to people, you're working, you forget your recovery, you don't make it your number one responsibility, you don't make it your number one priority. And in the back of your head, you're also thinking it's part of the journey. Well, that's going to come and bite you in the arse big time. It may not happen overnight, it'll be a slow progress. You may just say fuck it straight away and reach for a drink. The second time it happened to me over this last 5 years, it nearly killed me. It frightened me so much, it nearly killed me. Thank God I got back on track again. The message I want to give you in this video very quickly now is if it does happen to you, it's totally natural to feel all those feelings that I've just talked about. Feeling the remorse and shame and all the rest of it. They're not good feelings. No one likes to feel like that. No one likes to feel they've let somebody down, they've let themselves down, or these are just natural things that will just fleet across your brain. Don't dwell on them. Don't beat yourself up for too long, because we're all human. We all slip occasionally. We all, well, none of us perfect. We all go into this little bubble sometimes and forget what we need to do to look after ourselves. Self-care becomes second and it should always be first. And when you've stopped beating yourself up, and you shouldn't do that for too long, as I've said, you have to use it as a learning tool. You have to look back and think, what were my triggers? Was it that person nagging at me? Was it my mother shouting in my ear? Was it because I felt like shit in that situation? And it built up and it built up and I didn't deal with it then. What was it? Learn from it. I learned from every relapse I've ever had. And that's made me stronger rather than the other way. But don't ever think of it as a necessary part. Believe me, I know people in the rooms who are 40, 50 years sober. It's never been a necessary part of their journey. They've just maintained their sobriety and worked at it every single day, which is what you have to do to stay strong. Carpe diem, my friends. Good luck, stay strong, much love. Don't think about it, just do it. Please click the link in the description, please subscribe and please like the videos. Thank you, bye-bye.